Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to Georgia Shooting Connections Friday Night Live stream. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great week. Kyle, go for it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good Friday evening. Hope everybody had a good week. Hope everybody's wasn't as bad as mine. It was just cantankerous and busy, and I know that's a southern word, but it was busy and shuffled and muffled and duffled, and oh man, it was hectic. But I'm glad to be here with everybody in the side chat and everybody on the panel. We're going to have a great show tonight. Everybody get ready. Chico, hadn't heard from you in a minute.
I know, guys. Hey, everybody in the side chat, welcome to another Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. Yeah, I've been busy, but tonight I kind of finagled it and got off on time. But still, it was a little late. But I appreciate you guys being here in the side chat. And I don't know what we're going to talk about, but y'all know we always come up with conversations and topics. So, brother MCK, how you been, man? Good seeing you.
I'm good. Good to see you again, too, sir. And nothing much going on this week. I acquired a couple different new firearms and didn't get to the range. My club has a concert, or the conservation club has an archery event this week, so we shut down the gun range. So, other than that, we'll go over there to see Dub.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for having me. Good times. Not a real eventful week for me. I wanted to get to the range. I never made it. We had some hot temperatures and different stuff going on here, but I did get a couple videos out, so I did get that done. Hoping to get out do a little fishing this weekend, and maybe get to the range on Sunday, but we'll see. Sunday afternoon. What's going on up there, Scottish American?
What's going on, guys? Good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. And yeah, man, finally off on a Friday. I can be here and hang out with you guys. So looking forward to the chat. Good to see Chico, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has, man. Good seeing you, bro. Thanks for being here.
GGW's here. What's going on, bro?
Main man, GW.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Happy Friday.
Hello there.
Friday.
Happy Friday to you.
Well, that was a quick intro.
I'm a
To the
rookie.
point.
Okay, 10 man, we'll get to that one in a minute. We already got one up here from Mr. Andy, and it's more of an opinion type question. But tonight we wanted to talk a little bit about reloading bottleneck cartridges. But y'all also know that you're our viewers. You're why we do this, and we pretty much talk about what you guys ask questions about. And I'm hunting it. There it is, Andy. What is the best 223 head stamp to convert to 300 blackout?
Good question.
There's a number of them that are good. I won't call many the best, but there's a few no-nos, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what they are. But the reason they're no-nos is because they're so thick through the body of the case, because the body of the 223 case becomes the neck of your 300, and you get too thick up there, and you don't have bullet release, and you have some problems.
That and sometimes they won't chamber if they when you seat the bullet expands, it gets messy. Exactly.
Yeah, it won't release.
In my experience, 6 hour 223, you get one shot out of it and it cracks the neck.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Federal stretches the primer pockets after one shot too, but not really dangerous. Just kind of a pain.
Yeah, it's not dangerous. Just you went through a whole lot of work to get one shot.
Right.
Yeah, just watch your neck thicknesses, Andy. If you get in the habit, just neck turn it, and you won't have to worry about even that.
I use Lake City on all my 300 blackout, but I've got so much of both, I haven't made it in years.
Yeah, I think if you stick with it, just about anybody's commercial ammo or Lake City, you won't have any issues.
And Tin Man wants to talk about removing stuck oxidized tin from brass bullet mold.
Ah.
without sounding or trying to be a smart, but there's a reason it's hard to get off. So you don't do it again when you do get it clean. But a skewer does work. You just got to work at it, and you need a warm, a hot mold. But it will work.
Sounds like it basically soldered itself to the brass, huh?
You know how it kind of starts. It bleeds at the corners of the lube grooves. You really see it a lot on brass molds, but basically it's from casting too fast. You got to slow down. Same thing that smears across the top of your mold when you open the skewer plate. That's the same thing that causes the flashing on the inside. It's a little too hot. You're going too fast. You don't have your handles closed all the way. You're just getting a little sloppy.
That's good advice, Tin Man. I think that's what CW was getting at.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah,
you,
Ozark said map gas.
So when y'all say neck turn, because I don't know, and I never done it, you're taking down the brass,
Yes.
shaving it down.
The thickness of the neck.
Of the neck, okay.
Yes, you're basically putting it in a lathe and turning it, but you're just using a small hand.
Right.
The outside of the neck.
The
You
outside.
can lean the inside too, but most people don't have that. But you can do that too.
So,
True.
so I'm kind of like Chico. I'm not 100% on all of this. So when you say shape the outside or shape the inside, how are you doing that?
You can do them on the same tools for some manufacturers. In other words, some makers make both. And it's called inside reaming or outside turning. And basically, the outside turning works is you have a mandrel that's the inside diameter of your neck, pretty tight. And then you have a cutter that pinches the brass. And as you turn it, it shaves off the outside high spots. So you're turning it down to a consistent thickness. And for reaming, it's basically a reamer. It's an end mill with less flutes on it, and it's turned by hand, and it reams the inside of the neck out.
Look at
I
it
have
like this,
one
Scotsman. It's like a brake lathe. You do the rotors with one bit, and you do the drums with another one. I mean, that should put it in perspective. That's what you're doing.
Okay. Jamie, Tim Man's question. So Tim Man sent me, this was years ago, he sent me that Hornady case trimmer. He said I can do neck turning on that, but fact check you to ask.
I can see how that would be fairly easily done because it's a lathe style, and I've seen Hornady's attachments to do it, but I've never done it. And the cam lock part would be perfect for that, really and truly, because it's going to hold it steady. I think it would make a better neck turner than it does a case trimmer.
Lyman makes tools for their manual case trimmers. Case trimmers to convert it to turn the outside of the necks. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other companies did as well. Foster Bonanza makes a couple of different ones that'll inside ream as well as outside turn as well as trim.
I want to say Willie, Willie made a video of outside neck turner with the mandrel setup that I think they're less than $100 or something like that. But
I used to have one on my other channel too, but it's gone to another.
Constantly on back order. You can't find them anywhere. So.
Well,
I can't find one.
we'll go through the side chat. There's New Tex I Can, Mark Thomas.
Here's Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin's out there. This is Ellie Wilson. Let me blow this up. And this is the Ellie Wilson inside reamer, and this is for 30 cal, and it's kind of short right there where the cutting surface is, but also you're only cutting the neck, and you can also see the taper is pretty much perfect for the shoulder there. So with when we reload and we can, all right, let me back up for a minute and ask CW this question, or anybody else that would happen to know. When you're turning the outside, the only thing I know is this is the only thing I have. When you're turning the outside, is that you need to size that case first, right?
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's not going to run true on your mandrel.
Right, it's going to be too big.
Yes.
It's not going to be the size of the bullet. It's going to be
Correct.
the size of your chamber. And there's got to be a difference, or you wouldn't get the bullet separating from the case. So what happens? Let me see if I can find one. This is 270 Winchester. So as we're sizing our brass over and over and over again, and you got that ball that's coming out, there's a thing that happens that I've heard referred to as the donut effect. And what happens is brass builds up just right there at the top of the shoulder, CW, or
Yeah, shoulder neck juncture.
And that's where your inside reamer takes that donut effect out, and you get a more consistent
neck tension
on the bullet.
Yeah, what it does, if you envision, the brass kind of gets bulged up in there, and right at the neck shoulder juncture. So to over exaggerate, what happens when you seat a bullet, you're seating it, and if it goes past the neck shoulder juncture, you're seating it in that donut area, and the bullet can actually wiggle and woggle because it's not tight to the walls of the neck. It's an over exaggeration, but that's in effect what's happening.
And that's what we're after as hand loaders, especially for bottleneck and precision loads, is consistency. And if you've got that donut right there, you've just thrown your consistency out the window, because imagine the tip of that bullet coming out like that.
Now, just so everybody realizes, and I know a lot of people will realize, but I'm going to say it anyway because I know we've got some new reloaders out there. This is not something new. It's always been there, and it's the reason everybody hems and haws over once fired cases. That's it right there, because it's once fired. It hasn't been overworked. It's more consistent. So what I like to do on anything that really matters, I buy new cases, or I use once fired cases. If I'm just having fun or playing with loads or plinking, or maybe not the hunt of a lifetime, but just regular hunting, I'll use my regular brass. But if I got something that's important, something that needs to work and be right, a special hunt I'm going on, a match I'm shooting, something like that, I'll use new or once fired. I actually prefer once fired because I know what it's been. It's been through my rifle. It's fire formed to my chamber, and it's going to be as perfect as it can possibly be. Even better than brand new, because it's fire formed in my chamber.
And then you can just neck size it and eliminate your brass stretch or as much as you can.
It's been a thing for a long time. It's just you're really only hearing about it recently because of all the new shooters and people that are reloading now, and so it's coming back around. Everything old is new again.
Yep.
So I got a question about the 300 blackout brass that I've made, that I've chopped and formed. Do y'all suggest, or anyone suggest, that I neck turn it?
Read your necks, measure them.
Okay. It's Lake City.
It should be fine, but measure it and see.
Okay.
That's the reason that a lot of people ask, because if you go on, what's the name of that forum?
Yeah, I think I'm on that forum.
Blackout.
Yeah,
Lancaster on there. there's a list in there. If you look at one of the, I don't know if they're called stickies over there or not, but there's a post over there where it'll tell you the names of the brass that guys have found problems with.
And I think that's what I did when I made it. I went through and grabbed all my Lake City because I found that list over there, the blackout form, and so that's what I did. And but I'll have to do that.
Annealing is super important on any time you're case forming. It should be a requirement to anybody who's case forming. So yes, with the 300 blackout, you're case forming, you should anneal.
James Pollard threw some dimensions out on what it should be. That helps out too, somewhere in the chat there.
I hope he addressed the different diameters, because if you're shooting cast, it's going to throw everything out the window. Most of your rifle bullets, you're going to be shooting their 308s and jacking it. But in cast, you could be shooting 309s, 310s, 311s.
Right, and we usually do want to expand our cast over the full metal jackets. Yes, that's a good point.
So anything over 12 thousandths, you need to trim. You need to turn, rather. Y'all going to town out there, fellas.
You brought up a subject. That's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
This is the great thing that we have here. We got so many people that are knowledgeable.
Oh, Kyle's got a good question out there. Let me hear y'all's opinion on it.
I don't do that.
Most new brass is going to have been annealed, or most manufacturers will have been annealed.
I'll suggest sizing them because especially Winchester's junk out of the bag, fresh. They're all deformed and ugly, and you might as well just run them through the sizer and get them ready.
I do size my new brass, yes.
I was gonna say size them, but past that, yeah, I wouldn't worry about annealing.
I'll go so far as to, I ain't loading anything, particularly a bottleneck rifle case, without sizing it. I don't care how, even if it's Lapua, and I'll even measure them to see if they need to be trimmed after I size them.
I just did a video on a lot of what we're talking about as well. I didn't go into neck turning, but I did talk about it. I don't know, what, 2 weeks ago, Jamie?
I don't think it's been that long. I think it was this week. I know I watched that video this week, but guys, y'all got to understand my life. I can be sitting there and have your video queued up, and it may take me 2 days to finish watching it because Chico will tell you,
I know the pain.
Carter be like, "Daddy, I need this. I'm hungry. I want to eat."
Hungry.
Exactly.
It'd be like this. I said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "I'm hungry." Like, bro, you just ate.
And for Rigby, it's like Rigby comes in there, "Papa, will you make me some ramen noodles?" I'm like, "How about macaroni and cheese?" "No, I want ramen noodles." But yeah, text I can. Don't worry about that, brother. Like you said, man, you get a text. It's there when I can get there.
Here's Walter. Walter Bunning's in the chat.
Howdy,
Walter,
sir.
I hope you're feeling good, man.
I think he was going to his sister's today. They released him.
That's good.
Wow, very cool.
Good news.
And there's Hasbro.
Long time no see, man.
I think depending on what we're wanting to do with those rounds, Kyle, I think if they're brand new, I would size them. I would check them to see if they're too long and trim them if they need it. And how often you decide to anneal them is up to you. I'm usually at 3 or 4, and I'll anneal them just to get better neck tension and better longer life out of them.
So when you guys are working with Lake City 556 brass, do you swage the primer pockets, or do you guys like to cut out the swaging?
I've been guilty of both, but I prefer always to swage. Once you remove that brass, it's gone.
Yeah, as do I. I've got the RCBS.
It depends on how many I'm processing at the time. If there's a lot, I'll just run them through the. I got an RCBS wager. If there's just like a handful that I'm trying to test something with, I'll just cut it away. And then
When you guys are saying cutting, are you taking like a drill bit and just drilling it out, or what are you doing?
No, they make tools for that.
Yeah,
There's
the
a special tool
Frankfurt
for it,
Arsenal Brass Prep Center has the primer pocket reamers, and I do recommend gloves, but you take it and sit it on there and push down a little bit, and when brass quits coming out, you're good to go.
I use a countersunk bit, to be honest.
Some guys use the spaceship. That works too.
Use a countersunk bit and knocks that little ring off, or if it's the 3 points, it knocks them off pretty quick.
If you're going to use anything but a specialized tool, you really need to watch what you're doing because you can remove too much.
Yeah, you can go too deep.
Then your primer will fall out.
Yep.
And see, I'm just the opposite. I cut. I don't want that stuff bulging back in there. But
and I do it by hand. I don't even hook it up to a drill. I just put it on, turn it, and it knocks out the burr. You know, it's done.
Like
no drill. It'd be too crazy with a drill.
Yeah, Lyman makes a great hand tool set for case prep.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep, you can't go too much or too deep with those. That's a a proper tool.
It's got
But
that shoulder that stops you.
I was recently blessed with a swager. I just need to get the small attachment. I've got the large now. I need the small, and I'll be able to do that method too. So, thank you, James.
You're welcome, bro.
The RCBS swaging kit.
The die style or the bench top style?
Die. Sorry, the die style. Yep.
I got one of them too. They work good.
They do work good. I've been doing it on all the large pockets lately and getting everybody uniformed up. It's fun.
I bought a Dillon 600 and haven't looked back.
Nice.
I'm sorry, guys. One of the neighbors decided to wait till almost dark to fire up the leaf blower. But Lyman makes a great handheld kit. It's got everything you need for large and small primer pockets. And there's primer pocket reamers and cutters, and then chamfers, deburrs. And they all got screwdriver handles on them,
Redding, RCBS, and Lee, I think, all make them as well.
Yeah. I got one just to sit on the shelf for rainy days.
So y'all are 54 strong out there, guys. Thanks for coming in. But I just showed that, Kyle, and it does have the coolest thing in that thing is the VDL tool, I think is what they call it. And it's for it will chamfer the inside of your case mounts, deburr the inside, and it'll cut it's at the perfect angle to also cut out the primer pockets, swage primer pockets.
Yeah, I don't have what you just showed. Mine's like a 8-piece set in a zipper up case, with styrofoam or whatever in the middle to separate everything. What you got makes a lot more sense than what I've got because I can put that in my pocket instead of loading around this other one.
Well, I can show y'all the attachments if you want, but what's cool about it is you make a perfect point, Kyle, is everything fits inside, and I think the one you're talking about, everything is built on its own.
Right.
handle.
Yeah. That the one you showed came out after I bought the one that I've got.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where we're at. We're all about saving money and we're all about saving space. There's Ricky Baird. We're going to go through the side chat here in a minute. We've been on here 26 minutes already, almost
We're
27.
fixing to see if Chico's got his lungs fired up.
Can y'all hear me?
See if he'll sound off.
We can. You want to do it? You want me to do it?
No, I'll try to do it. We'll see if Carter still get messing me up. Let's see. First one I see is Papa's Place, Andy 79 Z28, Tactical Fud, Reloader 762, Jason Stewart, Tactical Fud, Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Broke Loader 2, Scottish Americans on the panel with us. We got Daniel God is my judge, Walks Fletcher, Tacos and French Fries, CW's on the panel with us, Cranky Cletus, Rawless is out there, trees are blowing. How you doing, sir?
Hello,
Tim
Don.
Garage Guy 879, Six Shooter Texan, Edward Petty, Echoes Reloading Chambers out there, Jason Stewart, Ozark Spear, Uncle Milty,
Hey,
James Pollard, Fuzz T48, Big Al, Uncle John, Bernie Sanchez. Who else? We got Georgia Trapping and Fishing. Hey, Craig. Texas Cans out there. Almost to the bottom. Give me a little second. What else? Big E. There we go. Getting close. Let's see. Who else we got out there? Kyle on the panel with us, and Kyle in the side chat. Chris 338, JCM 45. Guns and Cars. That must be a new channel. I don't know you, but thank you for joining. TMS. Hasbro's out there. I was just on Echo's live stream with him.
Critters here.
Critters here. Paul Loud. Yeah, if y'all see somebody, call them out. AR Gun 1776. Timothy Burkett. GGW's on the panel with us. Bravo Delta. Hey, sir. And Ricky Blair. Did I say that wrong? Ricky Bird. There we go. And Vanessa Kitty. So, and Abigail. Lead Bullet Junkie. So if I miss y'all, forgive me. Harm's out there. So did I buffer any?
You did good.
Did good.
Man,
Sounds good.
I had to take both tablets and the remote away.
There's Rebel. Mike
Mike,
Cascade.
Ricky's going to be here next Friday, Chico. We all need to get together and introduce him to some good chili dogs.
Some good chili dogs. Varsity.
Yes, sir.
Got me hungry, man. So yeah, everyone, thanks for joining us for Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection. All 55 of y'all. That's what YouTube says it is.
Yeah,
I'm seeing 56 right now.
That's awesome. Everyone, make sure you smash that thumbs up.
Says the Echo Man.
For those of you guys who have that RCBS kit that's got the large and small swaging primer, do you use that to check your primer pockets when you're sorting through brass?
I got a
feels like
couple.
it's too loose or too,
I use the depth uniformer. I keep them on my my motorized case prep center, and that's what I use. I don't even turn it on. I just slide them on there. If they slide in those, they're fine. If they don't slide on, I just throw them in a bucket until I'm done, and then I go back to those ones in the bucket and I take care of them.
I like that. I think I might switch to that.
I love my Frankfurt Arsenal Case Prep Center. It is awesome.
I've got the lineman.
I keep them in there. My station, my machine has 6 stations, so I leave 2 of them dedicated for obviously inside and outside deburring, and then opposed to those, I keep one for large and one for small, and I pull out the cutter for the pocket, and I pull out a brush, and I pull out inside deburring flash hole deburring tool. For those, I rotate around. I use them as I need them.
So
Yeah.
any of you guys use the Harmony? I forget what the hell they call it. It's the two piece for the brass prep.
What does it do?
That one that looks like a handheld drill.
It's a handheld, yeah.
No, I don't. I have the Lyman Case Prep Center like GGW does. It's a 5-station.
Okay.
And Tin Man printed me a skirt to go around it to hold the extra attachments, and that's pretty cool.
That's pretty slick. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I have
That
one of
is
those.
slick. I like that.
Tin Man.
And something I've never thought about till I watched CW's video on that is a lot of tools that we use for case prep doesn't have to be motorized, and you can just stick it in there and then just like that inside case brush.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, Paul.
Yeah, I think Paul's got it right.
Yeah.
It works. It's there's a little more to it, but it works.
Do you have one?
Yeah, that's what I use.
Cool.
Was it like a battery operated drill, but on two? I mean, a battery operated screwdriver, but with two ends on it.
Yeah. You basically you charge it up. It has a charger. You charge it up. It is wireless. You charge it up, get it done, and then go to town, and then just charge it back up, and you got to recharge it. It works.
I don't know,
and-
Mike
and-
Hester. I don't know if Fuzz is that sophisticated. He may use a stick.
It moves. So the head is movable, so you can change the head angle to make it easier for you, however you're doing it. James Paul is the case prep tool, but it works well. It just takes a little bit longer, but I mean when it comes down to case prep, whenever you're doing 223, 300 blackout, whatever, it's gonna take a while anyway.
It's definitely something you want to put on a good movie that you like to watch, like Armageddon, or if you have a bunch of them, Lonesome Dove. That's a good 8-hour movie. You can just sit there and do it till your hand get tired, and
I'll just put on Lord of the Rings and call it good.
yeah, right. Yeah.
You don't have to change it ever.
A man after my own heart. Just find a nice long movie and just sit there and go to town.
Lonesome
You're not
Dove's
gonna do
great.
it. Yeah, you're not going to do it during an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. So you got to plan bigger than that.
Jason Stewart's got a good
I
question.
put on
and
past
got-
Georgia Cat.
There you go. And we appreciate that.
Yes.
Mr. Leverguns is out there. Jason and we were on Chris from the 740 Wednesday night, and y'all, if y'all seen my video, he sent me some Georgia Bulldog Red powder coat, and he wanted to know how it worked. So I said, I bet I can get some done before the end of this show, and I did, and they turned out really nice.
Nice.
And I'm hoping Jason got to try his Ohio Buckeyes red, because I bet you it's the same color. There ain't a whole lot of difference. But as far as powder coat and size and all that, do it when you get time, man. I've got bullets here in the raw.
It's possible to do it all in the same day, but here's the thing, man. So I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, I do it in stages. And so maybe I'll cast that day, and then I'll set up the powder coat the next day, and then I'll set up the size the following day. However you do it, set it up in stages. Get yourself set up so you're not killing yourself with time and what you're doing, because you got a life to live too. You still got to work. You still got to do this. You still got to do that.
And
Break
it
it all
also
down.
depends on what book you read. Some of them say you need, after you cast the bullets and pull them out of the water current and dry them and all that stuff, you need to let them dry for a week or something, because it helps with the hardness and all that stuff. I have cast, coated, sized, and loaded in the same day, but that's because I was a long way away from home and was in a pinch and needed some more rounds. But yeah, I agree with Scotsman up there. Just do it at your own leisure. I've got all kinds of bullets right here behind me that we cast when Willie was down here. And all I got to do is powder coat them. I'm going to let them sit for a couple of days after I powder coat them, because it's really humid in Georgia. I'll let them sit for a couple of days, make sure everything's good to go, and then run them through the size and die. Then you can do whatever you want to with them.
Yeah, Cranky, he got hitched.
Yep, that's a good
Who's
point. Good point. You don't get burned out if you set it up into segments. You get burned out on doing one
that's
part
the best way of doing it.
of it for too long.
That's how I do all of my loading. I do it all in segments. I break it down and do a little bit here, a little bit there.
And Mr. Pollard's got a point. They will oxidize if you wait too long, but if you keep them in a Ziploc baggie, that'll help with that some. And congrats to Ozark. He got his Kansas deer tag. And Bulldog's out to dinner with his wife and his girlfriend. That's going to be an interesting conversation, particularly during the after dinner drinks. So
You don't call him Bulldog for nothing.
there you go.
Hey, sick 'em. Woof, woof.
I always cast and powder coat the same day, 99% of the time. Most of the time, I'll size the same day, but I almost always size within a day of casting. As far as hardness, yeah, your bullets are going to change depending on your alloy. If you've only got lead and tin, you're not going to change much. But if you've got antimony in there, arsenic and copper and other things, they're going to get harder, and they're going to get softer. It's like they'll harder, and then they get softer. But it takes quite a while for them to get to that point. But
so what you're saying is 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Generally speaking, I will never load cast bullets until they're at least a week or so old, and a month is even better.
Good yellow. I got an Eastwood. I can't give you the exact name. It's locked away in the closet right now. I'll tell you what, it's great after 2 coats, but it coats good enough after the first one where you can tell the bullet's coated, but the color doesn't flow all the way around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you get a clear coat, but not the pigment. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yellow is one of those colors that doesn't tend to be as opaque as some other ones. So, if you've got a name brand color,
Angel said the macaroni and cheese. I'm like, yes, the macaroni and cheese. It coats great as far as a coat, but the color, you'll have some blotches in it, even if you stand them up. But the second coat, golden.
I've got an Eastwood yellow. I can't think of the name of it. It coats pretty good on the first coat go around, but I rub it in the fingers and stand it up on its base and do it that way.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on just a second.
Probably right. I'm working on that, Chico.
Okay, yes, okay, no problem. I tried to do it myself, but I couldn't. I couldn't find I logged in, but it wouldn't let me do it. But yeah, the yellow's kind of hard. I see Ozark said you need a powder coat gun for the yellow to be perfect. I think it's gonna be a yellow out there. We just ain't thought about. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I had a yellow that worked. No, I had a white that worked good. It may have to come from a different company. I got a white from the powder coat store, and it worked good. I want to say on the first coat, but
Yeah, white's another tough one.
yeah, I got it from the powder coat store. It worked good because I have tried the Harbor Freight white or something like that, but so it may just be one that we don't that we have to, a different company, probably not Eastwood powder coat store. It's a lot of powder coat manufacturers out there too. James,
Yeah,
but they show so well after you shoot them in the ground, you'll be able to find them easy.
That's true.
there's a ton of different powder coat out there. There's a ton of different various coatings, and hopefully here, I just got some gray from work, but we also use yellow too. So hopefully, whenever they have some waste yellow, I can get some yellow and try that. But it's not quite powder coat. It's powder coat, but it's not powder coat. It's more like the high tech coating. So we'll see if I can get some of that yellow, and then if it works, I'll let you guys know.
Oh, Jamie, you had the same problem I had too, didn't you? You're muted.
What's that, man?
You couldn't put it in the description.
Yeah, you can't edit you can't edit the description while it's going.
Yeah, they've changed that because we used to, but so Jamie posted that 300 blackout link. That's for the brass list, the good and bad brass list that you can use if you're making 300 blackout.
I'm going to do something else too. Tell them what we're talking about there, Chico.
What for the link?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that link earlier we were talking about the 300 blackout brass, what's good, and CW was talking about the form, and that's it right there. I just sent it right there. Jamie just posted it. I sent it to him. It tells you all the the preferred brass that you can form and cut. So if y'all want to know how to make it or what brass to stay away from or which ones is preferred, that is the list right there. But don't go to it now. Wait till after the show. Okay.
Please.
We didn't want. I didn't want to post it there because I was like, we'll lose people. But I think when we're done with this, we'll post it in the description. So if you come back to this live stream later, it'll be in the description.
That's a good idea, Chico.
But you know what? So I was looking at Eastwood stuff, and I think like Trees of Blowing said he tried, I guess, was it the Mirror Yellow from Eastwood? It's probably gonna be a different name. I think I seen on Eastwood they've got like Canary Yellow. And most people wouldn't think to try that one, but I may try that one to see if that works. Yeah, it's gonna be some weird stuff that works for the yellow.
I got to go down to the basement to find this other one. It's not the Mirror Yellow.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's what we call it. I don't know if that's the name of it on Eastwood, but hell, Chico, I think I sent you or I gave you some of them bullets while you were
school bus yellow.
Yeah, I think you gave me some of the powder coat too.
Yeah,
and I tried it. It worked okay.
It's okay. Second coat's golden. First one, it's hit and miss.
The yellow I have is kind of like yellow corn color yellow.
Is that stuff you're trying to give away, Kyle?
Do what, sir? Say that one more time, please.
CW or me?
You.
You was trying to give away some yellow stuff. I wonder if you actually gave it away and don't remember, because I almost took it, but I didn't. Last time I was down.
No, I've given away some powder coat, and I've given away some bullets that were in it, but they were coated twice. I'm like, you can size it
Okay.
to whatever you want.
Good enough.
That's a CW question. Lever guns, I have no clue.
I've got more 3220 than 2520.
Okay.
But you can use 218B, 3220, or either 3220 or 218B. They're the same. Yeah, 2520 has been.
I got a buddy that needs some 2520 cast bullets. Any recommendations on the mold?
257 420, I think it is.
I might have asked you guys before. I'm probably repeating myself.
I'll look over the weekend and send you some pictures. I've got one.
It's easy to do. We talk a lot.
True.
Reloader 762 was talking about John's hand loading's gray.
That's good stuff.
And I'll show y'all some of these. There's what they look like finished. You want me to take some out of that jar? It works perfect. And that Bulldog Red does too. Georgia Bulldog Red. Look at that coat. That coating is just perfectly uniform, and it goes on like a dream. It flows out great, and it's just good stuff. And if he got to where he had enough to sell it, I'd pay for some of it. I'd love to buy some.
Yeah.
Can you
I
show
think,
that bullet one more time?
Yes, look at Chico's.
I don't
That's
know if
awesome.
I see a question out there. Abigail, she said royal purple. These are purple. Let's see. There we go. Willie sent me these. These purple bullets. So
That's why
there is a purple.
That purple powder coat you let me try, that stuff works great too, Chico.
Yeah, that's the candy purple. I like the purple because nobody's really shooting purple.
You sent me, yeah.
Here's the thing, man. I don't care what color the bullet is; it goes down range.
Look at it. Look at it. What color is that, Jamie?
That's John's hand loading's gray.
Oh, I thought you said Bulldog Red.
Well, I got some of them too. You want to see some of those?
I was going to say, that does not look red to me at all.
And to answer Mike Castor, Mike was talking earlier. He has some of those fancy bullets that are coated with.
If that ain't red, grits ain't groceries.
Yeah,
man, I tell you,
woof.
Damn,
good coverage.
That's what I'm talking about right yonder.
But that mirror red from Eastwood works pretty much just as good. I love that too. But some of our friends in our community can't get that stuff to work. It kind of reminds me of that V-Twin Orange I bought from from Eastwood, and I was so excited to get that stuff.
So orange, I've not been able to get the orange to work either.
It didn't.
But the red, the blues, the black, I've gotten everything else to work, but I cannot get the orange to work.
The olive drab green and the gunmetal gray work fantastic. Everybody knows Ford light blue works. Let's see. I'm still working on a mixture of white to do it in one coat.
I think the biggest thing when it comes down to, honestly, I think one of the biggest things that I found is variation in temperature. You really got to watch your oven or whatever kind of oven you're using. I think that's where a lot of it comes into play. Is it varies so much and so easily, and color to color will make a big difference as well.
Ozark, you have a very good point.
So, hey, look, here's a thing. So, like, Eastwood, I went to their powder coat section. They've got like 5 yellows: bright yellow, mirror yellow, atomic yellow, bird yellow, and sunshine yellow. So
I
those,
have the bright yellow, and it works rather well.
the sunshine yellow is it's at the very bottom. It looks darker. But here's one thing with Eastwood. I don't know if y'all noticed this. If you go to their powder coat, look for the reviews, and you will find some people showing pictures of their powder coat. So that's how I determine what I buy sometimes. But everything doesn't have reviews like this sunshine yellow. It looks to be the darkest, and there's no reviews at all on it. So
some of the reviews are guys are powder coating bullets. They're not even using it for what it's supposed to be used for.
Right.
Right.
They're not doing 4-wheeler frames or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna look different on a frame or something metal. I'm gonna try to find one of these reviews where I see that people talking about it. But continue on, Jamie. Sorry.
And I put it out there. Reloader 762. Jason Stewart sent it to me. It's called Georgia Bulldog Red. It's from a company called Columbia Coatings, and they're the same company that makes that Kodachrome that you've seen on CW's channel. And he also sent me a pound of that, and I can't wait to try some of that.
Didn't what's his name write a song about that?
That's what I think every time I hear that.
Paul Simon.
Every time I hear
Please
that.
don't take my Kodachrome. Please don't take my Kodachrome away.
I knew somebody'd get that. Chico's sitting there going, "What the hell are they talking about?"
I thought he was talking about when, like, if somebody just came in the chat when he was like, "Yeah, he sent me a pound of that." People like, "What are they talking about?"
What kind of chat we got going here?
I hear you. 10 men, listen, dude. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Ford Light Blue. It works every single time.
No, Tim, man, I'm gonna send you some
I got
powder.
like 10 pounds of that stuff, man. It, I ain't giving up on it. It works.
It
great.
works. That's absolutely correct. But and that's what a lot of people started with. And I still have some of it. I thought I sent 10 man some powder, some of that purple.
No, Paul, you don't have to buy new powders. Use up what you got. They still make it every day. You don't. I was just playing around with colors. Now I got enough powder to last me the rest of my life. I just got to figure out which color I want to do them.
I mix it too. I'll come up with colors that I can never duplicate. I'll mix a color and I like it. And somebody said, "What'd you mix?" I said, "I don't even remember. I was just throwing stuff in it."
Yeah.
See, that's an idea I've had for a video. I want to do some experimenting with them. Okay, this is what happens when you mix two colors together. You've got to keep track of the ratios, or you're not going to.
Yep.
You're not
Right.
gonna
I was gonna say, write it down as you do it.
right.
Yep.
Yep.
But
The
then
Learn
you
that
can
the
tell.
hard way.
The Emperor wanted me to send him a bag full of what he called robin egg. Remember those bullets I sent him that he called robin eggs?
Yep.
I can't remember what I had. It was just leftover powders from different batches I threw in the tumbler and sent them, but they ended up beautiful.
But Jamie's right. I did that with I guess the first time, and I learned to start writing them down. So like, I don't know if this color's gonna show. It's blue, but what I did after I found out I liked well, let's see. Right, it's kind of blue with some speckles or whatever. But what I found out, this is what I do now. Eastwood Ford light blue, the powder coat store gloss white, 2-to-1. So 2 spoons of this to 1 spoon of this.
There
But
you
then
go.
I'll switch it. In another container, I'll have this gloss white up top and Ford light blue on the bottom, and then I'll do 2 scoops of that. And guess what? It gives you different colors. The ratio gets
organized, man.
It gets even better than that too, because sometimes one powder works better than the other.
right.
So you could have a blue powder and tumble your bullets and they come out orange, and you can't figure out why. And they'll come less and less and less and less, and all of a sudden they'll become a different color because another one of the powders that's all mixed in there is the only one that's going to stick to your bullet. It's just crazy. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
I'll take a 6-shooter Texan.
The robin egg. I just can't.
I like the metallic ones too. The sandblasted steel from Eastwood does a real good job.
Speaking of which, has anybody heard from the Emperor in a minute?
He's doing all right. I spoke with him last week.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Working, doing life.
Yep, I understand.
But I know, like, Jamie has that orange that I mean, everybody wants to stick. He wanted to stick. What is it? Chevy orange or Hot Rod orange?
Eastwood V-Twin orange.
V-Twin orange. I can only get it if I mix it. I can only get it to stick if I mix it with something, either a clear or a white, or what else did I mix it with? You know, you don't want to change the color totally, but I think I definitely got it to stick if you mix it with a blue, you know, because the bullet's going to come out blue with some orange specks in it or something. So you just play with stuff different ways.
Well, my black powder coat does not stick to any color, or does not stick to the lead, but I'll do a second coat. It'll stick to whatever I use. So it gives it a speckled black dotted look to it. Kind of like C-Max's bullets. If anybody ever got any of his, those turned out pretty awesome. But
I
that's
want
too
to talk about this comment right here, which goes back to my idea for a video. What I want to do is take 2 colors of powder coat, and I want to coat them in, not mix them together, but coat them in one first, and then coat them in the other one second.
I've done
So
that
I'd
too.
have 2 coats before I bake them, and then I want to do it opposite.
You need to bake it, James. But what you do is you need to bake it in between the colors. But what you need to do is not fully bake it. You need to like 3/4 cure it, and then the last bake will cure everything.
Like 10 minutes and then retumble them. And
See, I want to do that and raw, and see the difference. And if this color's on the outside, what color does it turn out? If that other color's on the outside, what color does it turn out?
How translucent it is. Yeah.
And then do it like what you're saying both ways and see the difference. And then do the same 2 colors, mixing them together and see how it turns out. See, and Hasbro, I used to work on copiers, and the different colors that you see on a piece of paper are formed by 3 basic colors and how they're mixed and layered before they're fused onto the paper. So I want to see if that works with, powder coating bullets.
You guys ever work with any of the translucent colors?
Yes.
Yep.
Any luck?
Yes.
I haven't done that.
They're weak, but if you read, they're all designed to have a base coat.
yeah, I was going to say ish.
You can use white, you can use gray, silver, or another like Jamie's talking. You can take like a red transparent and put red under it and get a really vivid red.
I was fairly lucky. It seemed to stick well out here, except for this one purple does not work at all. But it's all that translucent stuff, so I'm just happy it works at all.
Reagan.
Oh,
There's that purple.
Yeah.
Mine don't look
There
like
it
that.
is.
They're all blotchy.
Dang, look at that.
They come out nice.
I've got a powder that does that one shot.
Really?
Yeah, I think this one does too.
I'd have
But
to see what it is.
That's
I want
stuff.
to say it's candy.
Yeah, I
Say
think
it's a candy.
that's what this is called, candy purple or something.
Okay.
I had a girl at the range go nuts over that bullet. I had to bring her in some, Jamie. The ones you gave me, I shot a few. She goes, "Oh my God!" She had a purple streak in her hair, tattoos all over the place. She had to have some purple bullets. I gave her some.
When my
She was
granddaughter
loaded. It was pretty cool.
when my granddaughter lived here, I'd walk by with the different colors. Oh, Grandpa, I want one of those. Give me some of those. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like nail polish. They go crazy once they see all the colors.
yeah, yeah.
Let me show y'all what,
Well, I got the sour apple.
if I can.
What's it look like? Is it a just
It's
like
not
a sound?
sour
I
apple.
guess.
At my house, it's not sour apple. It might be somewhere else, but it's not here.
Can y'all see that? Not really.
Bit of a glare, but we got the gist of it.
That ain't working.
Push it closer to the camera, Jamie.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Oh, okay.
And that's a pretty red too.
Yeah.
So that's,
What's
I take it that's translucent sour apple, Ricky. That is a good looking bullet.
I like that green. Yeah.
And I recognize that bullet.
I don't think mine come out like that. I'll have to go back and look.
I think one of Ricky's good buddies loaned him that mold right there.
I wonder if that's 2 coats.
We can sew.
Well, Ricky, is that 1 or 2 coats? Let us know.
That's it, Jamie. He said, yes, indeed.
There's a good point from Ozark. Might be
You got 1 coat. So yeah, it's coating well.
Very nice.
Hasbro's out there. I'm scrolling up in the chat. He says he really want to try high tech coding. Bought some and shot it, and he was real impressed. So if you want to, this is what I'll suggest. Check out Cranky Cletus video. He did, not just because he's my friend, but he did one of the best videos on high tech coding.
Yeah, he does.
I still have yet to do high tech, or try it rather. Try to code it. So it's a process.
Fuzz. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but they're Chico and Mock both are like beating women off with purple bullets, so that might be a good reason for you to give up that beeswax and Alox or whatever it is you're doing.
Look
When I'm
at
at
it, Buzz. It can't hurt.
Yeah, when I'm at a match and those bullets are sticking up, and and they see those purple bullets, like I draw a crowd, and it ain't because of my shooting.
That's the icebreaker, huh?
There you go,
Like,
Jamie.
hey, what's that? It ain't candy, baby.
This is 1 coat of that yellow.
See, that don't look bad.
Is that
That's
school
the-
bus
yeah.
now?
See, I mean, it's totally coated.
Yeah, but it's got like
But
spots in
one
it.
more coat, and they are. I mean, it looks like a pot full of macaroni and cheese, guys. It's awesome. I can't find the bag. I don't know what either me or Angel did with it. I'm not blaming you.
Ha!
Hey, look,
Get him, Angel. Tell it.
Eastwood Bird Yellow.
Big Al.
There's a review on it that says yellow bullets works good for powder coating bullets. Love the color and the quality. So, has anybody tried the Eastwood Bird Yellow? Because there's a review on here that says it works good.
I haven't
But
tried
I
that
was
one
looking
yet.
for the bag. I was looking
So
for
I
the
assume
bag.
they can't call it canary yellow because copyright. So
Probably
it's
so,
bird
right?
yellow.
Bird, yeah, Eastwood bird yellow. It's
right?
just
Yeah.
there's 2 reviews on here, so that yellow's a different one.
DuPont must
Yeah.
have the patent on that, huh?
Y'all also need to understand we're doing something with this powder coat that it was totally not designed to do. So if you buy a powder and it don't work, chalk it up to experience and move on.
Use it as a mixer.
Yep.
Give it 2 coats. Heat them up. Give it 2 coats. That second coat will stick. Come on.
Yeah.
And again, you gotta play around with the temperatures. You gotta play around with what you're doing.
Yep.
You gotta. Here's the thing, guys. My oven's not the same as your oven. Temperatures are not gonna stay the same. Temperatures vary a lot, so you gotta play around with this stuff.
You leave my oven out of this.
Well, there's even a couple. All you need is a swirl and put them down.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
turquoise, you sit them in there, swirl it, put it down, open it, and drop them in the basket, and they are covered good.
Well, I mean, and there are a bunch like that. You know, Eastwood, Ford Light Blue and the red and all that. Dude, I tossed them up, threw them in the oven, boom, done.
Yep.
But there's others that I've tried that didn't work that way.
The point I was trying to make is that if you buy a powder coat that don't work, don't call Eastwood and tell them,
oh, yeah.
It didn't coat my bullets good. I want my money back.
Yeah, you can't.
You got to play around with it. You got to adjust temperature. You got to adjust how much powder you're adding, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of different factors come into play.
That looks like some pretty butterscotch 38 special bullets.
Like that color, yeah.
It's like butterscotch candy, absolutely.
That's vermilion. It's not coming through as orange as it is, but that's Eastwood vermilion orange, 1 coat.
That's a good one. That's a nice coat.
I like that copper penny that Jamie's got.
Copper penny works good, particularly when you put a base coat of that orange that don't work under it, and put it turns out
There you
really
go.
good.
I found a good thing to do with all the Harbor Freight red that I had laying around. I'll use the
Tell us about-
Eastwood. What?
I was going to say, tell us about Harbor Fred.
Yeah. Oh, Harbor Fred told me. You coat them once in Harbor Freight zombie green or neon green, and then you sprinkle the Harbor Freight red on top of it and stand them all up. Oh, those are great looking zombie bullets.
Yeah.
This kind of looks bluer purple than it does, but this is really bright purple.
Yeah, there's something about
the purple on the
string
camera,
yard. What
because
is this?
mine does the same thing. Like, or if you put like a white sheet of paper behind it, sometimes my camera shows the same thing. It makes it look blue on camera for some reason.
Yeah, it just looks straight blue.
Yeah, it's
Well,
blue.
it does, but it's as purple can be.
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Send me some, and I'll tell you what color they are.
That's blue, but it looks the same.
That's blue. That's
Yep.
straight up blue right there.
That's blue.
That's almost Ford light blue.
Where's that? Hold on, let me get that one right side by side. I put it down here. Here it is.
Yeah, it's Ford Light Blue.
This one here is purple.
Yeah, it's a darker blue.
Yeah,
Throw them
it
in
looks
there.
like
That
it-
way they don't blow
blue
around.
almost. It's right outright purple.
Back to our color theory, no two eyes see the same thing. It's the same color as the same
true.
color.
That's vermilion again.
So it's a
That
orangish
looks a
red.
little more orange, yeah.
Yeah, it's a red or orange.
Butterscotch. Actually, that's better. That's more red than butterscotch on that one.
Here's a copper.
Okay.
That's
Is that copper penny?
It looks brown, but it's copper.
Huh.
Doesn't coat. It's like a translucent color.
wait a minute. Pick your hand up a little bit.
Yeah, I know there's a little bit of white. I got white light above. Makes it a little bit truer.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can see it now. Yeah,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
now-
Hold that
Yeah.
other purple one up there. Right
Hold
there
it
to
to
the
the
top
line.
edge.
What's that?
Don't go near the light.
Yep.
There you
There
go.
you go.
That lets the red come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
10
tell a
4.
difference.
This is that bullet I sent you a picture of today, Jamie, as a solid.
It's
Oops,
cool when you hold it half and half. You can see two
I
different colors.
I dropped the wrong bullet. This one here is the one I sent you the picture of. Mushroomed today. That's that
Yeah,
297, 197.
Up a
Oh,
little.
that's a good shooting bullet out of 350 Legend. I
There
guarantee.
you go. There you
Oh,
go. See, isn't that weird how there's two colors right there?
Yeah, I've got one of those halo lights. But I got it pointed at the ceiling, and it just when I have my hand here, it just peeks over. The light is just peeking over. You can see it on my head.
Yeah, it's two different colors on that
Again?
bullet. It's weird.
Yeah, the light is just coming over.
So back to our original
We
topic.
just went powder coated out. Then we just talked about.
We geeked out on some powder coat bad. What is your favorite and least favorite bottleneck cartridge to reload? Start with GGW down on the bottom.
Probably 300 Savage for the least, and my favorite's probably 30-30.
Yeah, 30-30 is easy, man.
Yeah,
I like 30-30.
I got a lot of 30-31, so
There you go. The pastor's recipe with a 150 grain flat point bullet.
yeah, I've got a box of the berry plated 150 grain flat points that back when I bought them, we're saying, "Oh, don't run them. No, you're gonna rip the plating off and so on and so forth." But now I've read that there's not a problem with them at all. Well, so you don't run them too fast. Anybody ever use the? I think they're extreme bullets. I think.
Yeah, Barry's makes them too, and I had some that Jerry 1911 sent me, and I sent half of them to the pastor, and both of us had good groups with them. And he was using 30-31, and I used Shooter's World Buffalo rifle, and it did good. And I agree with Chris. 338, 5.56, 223 is my absolute least favorite.
Yeah.
And I'll wait till everybody else gets done and tell you what my favorite one is.
Yeah,
if you
it depends on
guess.
what bullet you load too.
It does. Chico, you want to go next?
I don't have a favorite or a least favorite. I don't have enough experience with to cuss them out yet. The ones I've tried, but y'all know I do 308, 223, and 300 blackout. I think that's it. Bottleneck. But I've loaded good on 308. So let's say that's the favorite because I loaded it good and it shot good for me. And probably the least favorite, I think I'm gonna have issues with 223. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
See, Tommy Boy says 223 is one of the easiest to cast and shoot.
Yeah, everybody else is just slamming the door on 223. That's because they're using that lead bullet that nobody can shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Pollard
did a video today on his.
I've gone through thousands of pieces of brass loading that Lee 55 grain 223 bullet. And a lot of times I couldn't even hit the target, and the target was a pallet 100 yards away. Ridiculous. I mean, I'd be better off throwing the rifle at it.
Chris's favorite is 338 so far. Walks Fletcher says 270 forever, best cartridge ever, and he hates loading 223. And Andy's response is stop using the Lee.
Right. I have.
So Chico's favorite is 308, and you probably need to get in touch with Tin Man because I think he's having frustration with his 308s. 308s is not a it's difficult for some people.
You know, that the 308 is the first rifle cartridge I ever loaded. So maybe it's because it was my first one loading. Like, for instance, like I like loading 9mm, and when I first got in reloading 9mm, people was like, "Oh, that's the worst cartridge to learn on," and I'm like, "That's what I'm loading. That's what I'm gonna shoot because that's what I, you know." But because it ain't a straight wild cartridge or because of the taper on it. But I see Reloader 762 says 762 by 39 is his favorite caliber to reload, and hopefully it'll be mine soon because I'm very soon about to get into reloading that, but I ain't messed with it yet.
We can go through that journey together, sir. I just got to get a set of dies. I've got some brass.
I see Walks Fletcher give me a hard time. He said get a real cartridge, 3840 or 3030. Man, I almost had a 3030. I still got to convince my uncle to try to get it, man. It's a 364 Winchester. I want it too.
I
Nice.
load 270 and 3030, but not 243. Yeah, Tommy Boy's getting them shoot good,
Nice.
but he's also using a store bought bullet.
Does Tommy Boy have he's got content?
I don't know that he does or not. I don't think so. I know he uses Google. I don't think he
okay. Yeah, I just see one
I'm,
video.
I'm friends with him on a couple boards.
Cranky 30-06 was the first rifle cartridge I reloaded, and it's fairly easy. And I'll tell y'all why I don't like reloading 223 or 556. And it's probably the dies I'm using. And I hate to throw rocks at any particular manufacturer, but yeah, I just I've had too many stuck cases reloading 223 and 556.
With which brand dies?
Lee. And they say Lee is the easiest one to get the stuck cartridge unstuck. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Your mileage may vary on that one.
Mhm.
I've had them stuck in all kinds.
Creative.
I'm just gonna say out of experience, I'm gonna call BS on that one.
I can promise you this: you will not be reloading that cartridge once you get it out of that die. But I got really creative with a bunch of nuts and washers and extractors and all that stuff. I got it out.
Let me tell y'all a story.
I didn't have time to go buy a new set of dies. I'm like, I gotta finish loading this stuff. I gotta shoot tomorrow.
I got a piece of brass up here, 223. I got stuck, and it was in a Dylan die, and I got it stuck because guess what? I didn't use any lube, and I was just playing. You know, I'm messing around. You know how you do when you first get some dies or a piece of brass.
And as soon as you pull that handle down, you go.
I said, I had to take it to the job, put it in our big work vices, and I cranked on that thing. I didn't mess up the die, but later I found out that the Dylan rifle dies have a built-in case remover.
Yep.
I think Pops Quest told me.
You got to
somebody told me that.
But yeah.
WTF SoCal told me that. He said, man, that thing got a dang built in. All you had to do is start turning down on it. And I was like, I got it out without damaging it. But yeah, I've had that happen, Jamie. But depending on how much of the case is sticking out of the die, I bet I can get it out. Like Cal said, you got
out now, man.
Oh, okay. I got creative with it.
I drilled it out, tapped it, run a bolt in there with a couple of nuts, some washers, and just tightened up on the bolt. And eventually I said, well, either I got to buy a new set of dies or it's going to come out. You know, I'm going to win either way. And it finally went and come on out.
Tommy Boy,
because I didn't put no dye or no lube on it.
Well, I did. And Tommy boy, don't think I hadn't tried the Lee case lube, lanolin and alcohol, and even the Hornady Unique, and I still got stuck cases in that. Uh, that's what I wound up doing, James, with a
Clean,
big
clean,
old punch.
clean cases, Jamie? Are they dirty cases?
Oh, they were cleaned.
Wow.
I was trying to set my shoulder bump, and I finally got it right on the one that I did lube. I just reached down and grabbed another case, shoved it up in there, went to pull the handle back up, and it didn't move. I was like, oh crap. So I gave it a little bit more love, thinking, oh, there's enough lube in that dye. Gave it a little more love, and I ripped the case head off of it. I'm like, ah.
See, I came close to that. Just tell me what I'm doing wrong, Mr. Pollard.
It,
I used the Lee. I used the lanolin and alcohol, and it happened 3 different times. And I'm at the point now where, you know what? I don't need to shoot 223 that dang bad. I just don't.
all I've ever used for case lube has been lanolin and alcohol. And you make up a batch, and good giggly wiggly, it'll stay with you forever. I hadn't made up another
it
batch
will.
in 2 years.
I don't know how often you clean your dyes.
That part.
I personally have to do better at that as well. But cleaning your dyes are huge.
That's fact.
You
And
can go
Dylan
back
makes
from
it
one
easy.
lube to the other. You can have problems too. Make sure you clean them between different lubes if you
Right.
change
Yeah.
lubes.
Yeah, Dylan makes it easy. You pull the pin out, there you go, clean away, and put it all back together.
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned the real hard to load caliber like 22 Hornet. It's got all the bad things of 22 223, except it's got a really weak shoulder, really thin case, and it's really tiny.
Well, then, by golly, why don't you talk about it? Preach on it.
That's my worst, my least favorite. I like it a lot, but it's my least favorite to load.
Preacher the symbol of furniture.
Preacher, I'll say every word you don't want to say for you.
I'll check that, Mr. Pollard. It could be, but I clean the dang things with a brush like you clean your bore with and brake cleaner. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey! And there's Mr. Pugh right behind
James, how you doing?
Mario. I'm starting to think, what are them two doing? They
Where's
both
Michael? I ain't seen Michael Hurtnick either.
No,
Yeah.
not me either.
Where we at on the favorite cartridge? We going around the room?
We
Go
are.
ahead.
Since
My
you brought
favorite-
it up,
My favorite would probably be about any one of the straight walls. 375 Winchester is one that comes to mind as being the dead easiest, because what I only load it with Reloader 7, and you literally can just scoop it with powder. It doesn't, you can't get too much in there with my 220s. That's probably my favorite. But the Legend is easy. The 450 Bushmaster is easy. 4570, 444. They're all 30 carbine. They're all dead easy.
I thought we were talking about bottleneck cartridges.
Well, favorite cartridge and least favorite cartridge to load for.
Oh, well, I want to change my
I
answer.
thought it was favorite bottleneck and
It was.
favorite bottleneck. No.
Yeah. I thought it was bottleneck both sides, but that's all right.
yeah, 350 Legend is easy if you just watch your case length and your bullet diameter, you'll be fine. I'm kind of like CW. If it chambers, it'll shoot, but it's got a chamber, and that particular chamber can be tricky. But I love shooting it. I love loading for it. I love casting for it. But that's not my favorite. So, what's your least favorite, CW?
Hornet. But I don't dislike any of them. But Hornet would be it. If
All
I
right,
had,
let's back up for a minute. GGW, you want to change your answer? Go for it.
I'll stick with where I'm at. I'm fine.
Okay,
But I do like the straight walls like CW does. They're so much easier.
they are. And that goes rifle, pistol,
Mm-hmm.
revolver, all that. So, yeah.
I haven't started 350 Legend yet, but that's on the to-do list as well.
Well, go back and look. Myself, Julio, Willie, and the Emperor did a workshop video on that, sitting around talking about it, and we
Yes.
recorded it on live, and then stored it.
I remember that series. You guys were flambeing it at times, and other people liked it, some people didn't. It was good.
It was pretty fun. There you go, Mike. I think that's one people rather shoot than reload. But, and I've not shot it, so I have no clue.
there's a pile of them in that genre.
Yeah, there
Pile
is
millimeters.
a lot of that BR stuff.
Yep, all bench rest calibers, and there's a reason for it. They shoot.
I hadn't heard that, Mike. You going, Mock?
All right. My favorite is probably 243. And least favorite to load for is, I guess, 223, 556, only because of repetition. You're doing so much. You're trying to fill the can, and the brass prep is just, like you said earlier, got to do it in stages. You got to divide it up and keep it, keep something in your ear while you're doing it. Yeah.
And see, that's why I got so frustrated with 223. I was doing brass prep. I was doing all of that, and I got two big, gallon containers full of that stuff, and I was trying to do it, and that's how I got frustrated with it. And I'll scrub them dies and make sure that leak hole, that vent hole is not stopped up. But
Like Walk said, that's more shoulder dense than it is getting stuck. But definitely make sure it's clean. That's why I asked you about your brass. The only other thing is your lube. There's something faulty with the way you're lubing.
You guys ever use an ultrasonic cleaner to do your dies?
Yep.
Yeah, it works good. Yeah.
yeah, if anything, I know the brass is good and clean. I just may not have cleaned the dies like I should.
Did you
So-
water tumble the brass?
Do what?
Did you water tumble the brass?
Yes.
I've heard that it gets it too clean and it gets kind of sticky. Versus when we used to do the
medium.
corn cob and walnut stuff, where it kind of left a fine dust where it would go through the die just fine, and you would have to clean it out after a while. Somewhere I read on the internet that someone said that the water tumbling cleans the brass really, really good, and sometimes you do have a propensity to get stuck.
That would make sense.
But I would do it. Try small mints of corn cob and then try it.
Well, I think the biggest problem is with wet tumbling. It gets it so clean. Yes, you are correct. But it gets it so clean, but people are using their little lubes, whatever they are. And the way I do it, I spray it into a gallon Ziploc bag with a handful of brass, tumble it around, open it up, and walk away for 30 minutes. Let all the alcohol and everything. Like I make my own homemade lube. The only stuck cases that I've had have been my fault. I will totally admit that. I forgot to lube the case. Just reach down, grab another one, because you're checking something, and then you got, dang it, but spray it in there, open the bag up after you tumble it around, and walk away. Don't immediately stick it up in the press, because that alcohol is what's moving that lubrication around the brass. And if it's still wet with alcohol, when it goes up into the die, it's just going to act like a squeegee and get all the lubricant off of it, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's the reason that those aerosol like Hornady One Shot has so much hatred.
Yeah,
It's really not that it's so awful; it's that people don't use it properly. But
right. Spray it in there, walk
it's easier
away.
just not to use it. That's what most people do.
Walk away.
But I've been a firm believer in Imperial sizing wax for forever. But I always
Right.
used it for case forming, and I mean 30 plus years using it.
Yeah,
And
I got some of that too.
I always said that I
used
never
it.
stuck a case with it. Never, ever, ever stuck a case with it until I did. And I went back and really thought about it and looked at what I was doing, and I did lube it. But what I had going on was when I first started playing with 6mm dies, and we've already had this conversation of why I got like 6 different ones. I had a set of RCBS that were actually undersized. When I mic them, they are like 3,000 smaller than everybody else's. And 3,000 in a loading die is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what it was doing was it was actually scraping the web of the case and leaving like a donut. It was removing brass, not pushing it back in.
Wow. Ooh. You
And
had
that's
sharpened dies.
That's the die that
Yes, OBJ.
got stuck with the Imperial. But although I still think Imperial is great, there's others that are just as good. But I really like to finger hand lube my cases, as you saw in the video. You're sure to get it everywhere and not get it where you don't want it, because you don't want it on your shoulder.
Right.
And that's another thing that spray lubes are bad for, and that is getting the lube everywhere.
That's cause you overdo it.
Yeah, you don't want it.
I mean, I could dump the whole bottle into a gallon Ziploc bag, and I want to have a bag full of ruined brass, but it won't stick.
and you also have dimpled shoulders.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like the finger. And the old way, which was the pad and the
rolling
RCBS,
pad, yeah.
worked fine, worked great. Again, like James Pollard said, it's a little harsh, but it's true. Most of the problems you're going to find with this stuff are operator error, and it's the last thing we want to blame is ourselves. But generally, it's the first thing that's actually the problem.
The first time that I'm not going to say dented a shoulder, I concaved that baby. And I was like, I didn't let this stuff dry. I sprayed it in there and then went and got a cup of water or whatever and went back, or filled the hopper up, or something real quick and simple. And went back, threw it in there, thump. Well, that's junk. Thump. That's junk. Thump. That's junk. Took me about 5 rounds to go, wait a minute. It was all my fault.
So,
Let it air out a little bit and everything will be fine.
all right, let's recap. GGW's favorite is 30-30. What was your least favorite?
300 Savage.
300 Savage. Okay. CW's least favorite was 22
Hornet.
Hornet. And your favorite was any of the straight walls. Chico's favorite was 300 Blackout. No, 308. And he didn't say what his least favorite was yet. Did you say that, Chico?
Yeah, no, not really, to tell the truth. I'm still playing. You know how that goes, man. I still got to determine. I'm sure it's gonna happen though.
He's still in the honeymoon stage yet.
Yeah, we still dating.
Which is why I'm glad I miss Chris from the 740, but I'm glad he's not watching us tonight. And Mock, we was getting to you. What's your favorite? You said 243 was your favorite.
Yep.
And your least favorite?
223.
I think the problem with 223 is the fact that we do so dang much of
I've
it.
never had a
That's
problem
it.
with 3 or 222 or 222 mag or 647.
Well, I think
Why
that's the
would-
point. It's not a problem, just the repetition and how much, because you're doing it for bulk, you're doing it for plink. I don't even have a gun for it, but my son's got my well, it's his, but so I load it for him.
I've never had a lick of problem. 223.
That's the only one I've had a problem with.
Yeah, stuck cases, and I'll blame myself for the stuck cases, the lack of experience and getting in a hurry.
I load a
Or not
lot of different calibers.
brass.
We got over
And
20 guys that are active in different calibers, and I use most all of them. I don't have any real problems with any of them. But if I had a name, it'd be the Hornet, just because it's got the propensity to be a problem with a really thin. But you could say the same as was mentioned, the 2520, 3220. They're all the same type of a case, same very, very thin brass. The B is better because it's got a sharper shoulder. And once you make a K Hornet out of a 22 Hornet, the problems go away too. They're a much better, easier to load case. And that's why I'm surprised you the 300 Savage, because that's got a steep shoulder. That's a pretty durable case. But we all load a little different.
Cranky agrees it's the volume. That's the 223 problem. Yeah. Because you don't want to do like all these others. We're like, I just need 20 to hunt with this season, and you got 15 of them left. But when you're doing 223, you want 1,000 of them, right?
That's what it comes down to. I mean, it's so for me, I would say 30-30 is one of my favorites, and 223 is one of my least favorites, and 223 is one of my least favorites just because there's so much to it, and it's just so time involved.
But that's not a problem with the caliber. That's all you.
No, it's just to me, it's just the time. It's not a problem with the caliber. I don't have a problem with the caliber. It's just time involved.
Because 223, another thing about it
Crimp pockets.
Primer pockets. It doesn't matter if it's 223 or 556. Even if it's 223, you still got to check those primer pockets. It's like what Mark said, what Kyle said. It's the steps, it's the volume, it's the time involved. So Scotsman's favorite was 30-30, and his least favorite was 223. Is that right?
Yep, just because of time involved. That's it, man. I mean, 30-30, I can load a bunch of 30-30 in no time at all, but 223 just because of the case prep itself. And that's what it breaks down to is case prep. The case prep time is just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I love the cartridge, but the case prep time is just ridiculous.
Small primer pocket 45 ACPs, I know, give a lot of people a heartache.
They do.
I just throw them all in a different coffee can. Then when I get enough to load a box, I change it over to small pistol primers and load it up.
I'm saving mine for when it hits the fan. That'll be the last ones I load.
I'm gonna put small rifle Magnum primers in there.
Mike, don't be sensible, brother. This ain't the time or the place. Let me tell you something. Why we do what we do is because we want to shoot cheap, and that's why we're always grabbing, because primers are 13 cents a piece now. We used to load our rounds for less than that.
See you, Jason.
So that brings us down to Kyle.
This is going to what Mike Hester said. I used to load 9mm for about 7.5 cents a round, including the bullet. You can't do that anymore. My favorite bottleneck case to reload is 308. I'm just extremely familiar with it. Been doing it for a long time, and I've got everything dialed in. And there's a little bit of case prep involved, but It's not that bad. I hate 223 just for the simple fact that you got to do all the the same thing Scotsman was saying. You got to do all the case prep and all that stuff, and then, load it up and this, that, and the other. Problem is, you're not going to blow through 1,000 rounds of 308 in one day. A normal person won't. But I can go out there and blow through 1,000 rounds of 223. It doesn't take no time at all. It's just a fun round to shoot, and then now I got to pick up all the brass, take it back home, do everything all over again, measure everything, trim it again, blah blah blah. But I've already done the primer pocket work, so I don't have to do that. But it's easier to shoot a volume of 223, and it just, I do not dislike the cartridge at all, but if you're going from one shot range pickup military brass to a finished product, there's a lot of work there. But you only have to do the primer pocket stuff once. I will say that. But it's such a high powered short neck case that the neck's gonna expand every time you shoot it. So you got to trim it dang near every time you load it.
Yes, you do.
But I mean, you got to size it before you can trim it, and then you got to wash it before you can size it, and you got to do that. You got to go through all the same damn steps instead of just you can pick up a muddy piece of 308 brass, wipe off the outside, run it through your size and die, pour your powder in there, seat your primer, and put a bullet in there, and be done with it.
I agree. Okay, so some of my favorites, four or five of my favorites come to mind: 7.62 by 54R, 8mm Mauser, 35 Remington, 30-30, and 30-06. I load all those, and I think my favorite is 35 Remington, just because, like Kyle said, with 308, I've done it so much. I'm familiar with it, know what's going on, know what to look for that causes the problems. So, and you guys that are kind of new and just getting into 35 Remington, I got at least, I would say, 12 videos on 35 Remington back in the old part of my channel. So check
And
them
they
out.
are extremely in depth with powder charges, powder types, bullet weights. He did a great job on those.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. But I only really used one bullet, and that was that Lee Cast 200 grain bullet. And there's so much more out there to do. There's another bullet I want to do a few on, and that's that one that CW showed early. What is that? The
NOE 36197. What the
Yeah.
bold number is.
that is an awful nice bullet. It's that round top,
It's
and
made
it's
for the 35 rim.
and I shot it out of 350 Legend size to 356, and it was one whole groups at 50 yards, just in the same hole. It was that good.
That's
Wished I could remember how I did that. I'm glad I got a notebook.
There wasn't a chronograph involved. That's how you did it.
That's good stuff, James. You'll like 35 Remington, buddy. They love it. And your buddy that you sent me the link to, he's got one video I know on 35 Remington. But GGW, do you want to talk a little bit about the coffee cup thing for Willie? I think we're going to use that to kind of start the fundraiser. Don't you think that'd be a good idea?
Do it. That'd be awesome.
Idea. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So as far as facilitating that, I'm not sure how you guys want to come up with who wins and what it is, or if you want to do like an auction setup, or I'm not sure how you guys want to do that aspect of it. But I've got 10 right now, actually 9, and I can get more made. That's no big deal.
Why don't we start that next Friday night? We'll talk over the week, and
You know what? Hang on a second. Let me go grab one real quick so you guys can see.
All right.
Sure.
Any thoughts, guys, about how we want to go about doing that? You want to do an auction? You want to have a lottery? You want to, like we've done before? I think that's probably the best way.
I'm still trying to figure out the master game plan on what we're doing. Again.
So, I don't have one, but I want to address a comment. Not address, but Tommy Boy out there in the side chat. He said a poll on anyone who shot their chrono. On my channel, I have a chrono killers playlist, and I did a search on everybody on YouTube, shot chronograph or whatever. It ain't that many. It's like 6 or 7. However,
They'd admit it.
Yeah, but we know more people shoot chronos.
And this is the truth. There's 2 kinds of people that own chronographs. Those that have and those that will shoot them. Period.
Chico, there's more than 6 people on this panel that have shot a chronograph.
GGW.
If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Nah, people shoot them. They just don't tell the truth.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Guilty.
I shot the bar. I haven't shot the chronograph.
Being a rookie, I'm assuming I hit share to make it bigger.
I can make you bigger.
All right, make me bigger then.
Whoa. This is a PG family
One
channel.
pill makes you bigger. And one pill makes you bigger.
Anyway, this is what they look like. It's 2 sides, so it doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed. It's an ambidextrous coffee mug.
Yeah.
Please, Lord, tell me it says woohoo on the bottom.
Well, I can get that made next time around. Yeah. Basically, it's empty. I'll have to ask her if she can do that, but that's a good idea. But yeah, this is what it looks like. And like I say, I can get more. And it's not the gigantic. I think it's a 12-ounce mug.
I don't even drink coffee anymore, and I'm down for one. So,
well, you know what? It works for everything, including coffee.
I'm just going to set it up so it reminds me of him.
There you go.
Just
Willie and I have coffee pretty much about 3 times a week. So
shoot me a text, man. I'll get a couple for sure.
all right.
Yeah, I'll get a couple too. I'm sure Angela will want one. She actually does drink coffee.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to give away 9, or if you want to get one more made, GGW, and we'll have you send your donations directly to GGW, and then when we we'll run that for a week or 2, and then have a drawing, and then or we could just sell them. The problem is going to be the shipping. So they're going to be, if we just sell them, they're going to be more expensive than you ought to be paying for a coffee cup. But then again, it's Willie's family. So,
well, Jamie, think about it this way. Think about it this way. This could be a chance for people to meet up with each other. Like if me, you, and Chico want 1 or 2 or whatever a piece, that's just one shipping charge. And they can pick where they ship it, either to me or Chico or you. Then we can meet up and go have some chili dogs.
Well, ship mine to me and make Scotsman drive over here for him and Daniels.
Right. See?
I was going to say, I can pick up Daniel and drive his ass over there. So
we need an Ohio Range Day. Okay, sorry, back on topic.
No, I'm
grab Fuzzy on the way by.
I'm totally game for that.
So that sounds like the difficult part of it is I know a lot of you guys want to buy them, but then the main deal is we're trying to raise money for Willie's family.
Right.
So I'm not sure how we want to handle that.
Well, they're not going to get anything off the shipping. So
True.
if we
Well,
can,
I
if we can
finally
bundle
found
up,
a flat rate shipping box I can use. So
if we can bundle up the mugs to be shipped to one little area where everybody can meet up, then I'd pay $1 or $2 more a mug. And I don't even
yeah,
drink coffee.
getting the mugs to you guys is no big deal. It's just I don't know how we're going to handle the monetary aspect of it.
There's a guy right over here that knows how to do that. Hey, I got
Okay.
it right. Of course, you can't see my finger because I went too far.
Yeah, we can talk about that, man.
Yeah, you got me, Scotsman. Just give me a yell.
Yeah, when we get done here, we'll talk.
Well, let's do the drawing and then let's offer some for sale, and we'll.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We'll sell the first 10, and then I'll get some more made, or give away the first 10, and then after that, everybody can buy them.
Yeah, if you're going to get some more made, I want woohoo on the bottom.
I'll talk to her tomorrow and find out.
And everybody knows why.
Or another one, no matter what. That was
I'll
one of his
I'll
favorite.
take one of each. It doesn't matter.
One of his favorite sayings.
I want
No
to
matter
see
what.
Angel's. I want to see Angel's face when I turn that coffee cup up and it says woohoo on the bottom of it.
All right, we got to start going through the room. We're down to about 8 minutes left. We got 7 guys to say their outros and plugs tonight, and we got to clear the way for Mr. Gary Gizzard coming on, or Gizzard Gary. I'm sorry, Gary, if you're watching.
It was close.
Who wants to go first? GGW, you want to go first?
No.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Thanks, guys and girls, for coming to Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. We appreciate all y'all input and comments and everything in the side chat. I don't have much going on, but weekends are always busy for me, so I appreciate y'all being here. Jamie, thanks for the link. You know that. And if you want to laugh, I got a short on my video. All I'll say, you crying, boy? That's it for me. That's all I'm saying.
That was hilarious.
I love your shorts, brother. I love
That was hilarious.
They're so funny.
Chico posts a lot of shorts. If you're not one of the ones that watches shorts, go check out his at least. They're hilarious. They're fun.
Gotta
Good
laugh.
time.
And Tim Man's got a good point. Shipping's cheaper than gas. And Reloader 762, I'm gonna have to go back. I don't know what bullet y'all talking about, but I think I know. Anyway, Mock, what you got coming up this week?
Oh, after the archery competition, I'll hit the range with some 243 hunting bullets. I'm going to see what I can get dialed in for deer season, and I got a new firearm to show off, and that's it. C-Dub, what you got, brother?
Thanks for everyone stopping by. We had some real good side chat going on today, and really good numbers. Everybody smashed that thumbs up button. We appreciate that. Myself, I made a first video on an air rifle, a couple air rifles, calling out another guy that I watch, and I think everyone would appreciate him. Walnut and Steel. He's here on the YouTube, and
That's neat.
Really nice channel. If you're into air guns and old classic firearms, he does Smith & Wessons and Winchesters and old stuff, and he's just got a real nice way about him. So I want to throw a shout out to him. And while we're thinking about people, Walter Bunning is out of rehab. He's at his sister's house now, so he's on the mend. He should be home either tomorrow or Sunday, and you can start talking to him. He's been texting and doing pretty good with that, so if you want to drop him a note if you got his number, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. I'm sure he's going to have a mailbox full of stuff when he gets home. And that's all.
Not in this community. No, never.
That's great. So that's about it. I was thinking of doing some more air gun type videos and a couple other topics that I haven't ever covered, and just wanted to see how popular they were, and they seem to be pretty popular. So we'll see where we go there. I got a couple of things to show. And I want to get to the range. I want to finish up my Chris VR video for his problems with the single action. I haven't shot that one I put the scope on yet. And that's about it for me. Scotsman, what's going on?
Oh, just staying busy. Appreciate the link. Appreciate being here. Lots of good folks out there in the side chat. If you guys didn't notice, I did change my name. And I think y'all will appreciate the name change and appreciate what it means and what it means to me. And I thank you all for your support. I appreciate everyone out there. All these guys here, guys, it's huge. I'm blessed beyond blessed to be here and blessed to know every one of you. So it means a lot to me. And with that, yeah, I'm glad I was able to make it tonight. Again, just been working 2 jobs here and busting my ass trying to get stuff done. So appreciate it. Appreciate being here. And yeah, good times.
Thanks for being here, brother. GGW, it's your time now.
Okay. I've got. Well, first of all, it's amazing how fast 105-degree weather dries out probably 1,000 rounds of 9mm I cleaned earlier here in my wet tumbler. I had a friend of mine give me a satchel bag full of brass and ammo and all kinds of neat goodies that I'm going through and cleaning and sorting. That's pretty much it for me.
Thank you for being here. Kyle?
Appreciate the link. Yes.
Anytime, brother.
Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you very much to everybody in the side chat. Glad y'all could all be here. CW gave me a video idea. I got a couple of air guns over here that I use for, shall we say, varmint control inside the city limits. I could have some fun with that. Everybody smash that like button. I might do a homemade barbecue sauce recipe video coming up. I don't know about the shooting stuff. My reloading bench is still sitting on the back porch because I can't get 5 of my good friends over here to help me get it back in. Other than that, I've had a great time tonight, and I really appreciate
all them kids are out of school. You holler at some boys walking down the street.
Right.
I was gonna say, dude, you pay them $5 to help you out.
They can't pick it up.
Come on.
I need
Get 10 of them then.
I'm telling you, I need 5 full-grown men.
Well, half of us are over 50. Come on.
Well, I'm not saying y'all. Hell, I'm not going to pick it up. I know how heavy it is.
There's got to be a local football team there somewhere.
Well, just bear in mind, if I'm helping, you're paying my gas money.
Come get me, Scotsman. We'll ride together, brother.
I need to go down to the local high school and go, spring training day. Come over here and move his table. There's a hot dog in it for you.
All right, we got to round this up for Gizzard Gary. I want to say thanks to everybody on the panel, guys. Thanks for coming in and helping make the stream what it is. You guys in the side chat, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, and you're the reason we do what we do. I did 2 videos this past week. If you didn't see them, drop over and take a look at them, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Tuesday nights is the Reloading Podcast. Wednesday night is Chris from the 740. Thursday night is AR Guns sometimes. Friday nights before us is Echo's Reloading Chamber. Then on Saturday night is G23 and followed by Uncle Jim. So y'all got something to do. Sunday nights is the Crazy Scotsman, or the Scottish American now, I'm sorry, and Allenby Pro, foreign and domestic. So you got something every night but Monday. So we hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good, and we'll leave you with this. Say goodnight, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
God bless.